The Pokemon League, the ultimate test, the final challenge that stands between you and completing the game. But instead of being the up-and-coming trainer, what if I was the Pokemon League champion? What would my personal Pokemon League look like? Well, today, I'm going to be showing you guys that. Welcome to my Pokemon League. And before we start, this video was created by my good friend Birdkeeper Toby, so be sure to go check out his video as well. Also, in this video, I will be talking about the building structure for the Pokemon League, Elite Four members and their Pokemon, and of course, my own Pokemon. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said, let's get started. First off, before we even get to the Pokemon League, I want to talk quickly about Victory Road. You know how it's usually a cave? Yeah, we're gonna scratch that. Instead, we're gonna replace that with a jungle-themed Victory Road. I think it would be very interesting to change the theme up a bit and could provide some new and exciting puzzles to solve to get through the area. For example, you can navigate through vines and trees, go through some awesome ancient abandoned cities, and hey, you can even have a river waterfall puzzle. Also, the change of scenery from a dark and gloomy cave never hurts. But the most important reason why I'm changing Victory Road is because the Pokemon League will be built around an ancient abandoned temple. You see, as a kid growing up, my father was a big fan of Indiana Jones. And in turn, Indiana Jones became a big part of my childhood, and Raiders of the Lost Ark was one of my favorite movies growing up, even though the face melting scene gave me nightmares. I think it would be really cool to have that ancient temple structure because it provides you with this mysterious and uneasy feeling, which makes sense because it is the final test of Pokemon. But now that you made your way through Victory Road, you make your first steps into the temple, and you feel yourself getting strangely shorter. That's because when you look down, you stepped on quicksand, the first trap in the abandoned temple. You see, in Indiana Jones, the temples are littered with these trials and traps that you have to go through to find your treasure. And in this case, the quicksand trap will drop you to a room filled with treasures, sand, and your first Elite Four member, Clay. And when you go up and talk to him, he will tell you this: I came to this region to explore this temple and mine it for treasure. Turns out it ended up being a Pokemon League. So I spent years training and I ended up becoming a part of the Elite Four. Well, that's enough about me. Show me what you're made of. More along the lines of that, but in a southernish kind of accent. I'm not gonna try. And after that conversation, the battle begins. And like most Elite Four battles, all the members will have 5 Pokemon. And the first one that Clay will send out is Krookodile. This evolutionary line has always been his first to send out, so why not keep the trend going? Plus, it's also a little nod to Gen 5 there too. Krookodile will also be accompanied by Pokemon like Seismitoad, Palossand, Steelix, and of course his ace, Excadrill. Clay will no doubt be a tough opponent, but if you do beat him, he will congratulate you and let you know that the next challenger is in the room behind him. And once the battle is over, the sand wall behind him will open, and what you will see is a mossy stone staircase. After you climb up the staircase, you will be in a room that is half destroyed. One side is a mossy stone wall, and the other is a destroyed wall exposing the jungle forest. In case you guys don't get the hint, the next Elite Four member will be a mixture of grass and bug type Pokemon. And who better to fit that role than Gardenia from Sinnoh? From look alone, she could easily pass as a bug and grass type specialist. And I know that she only uses grass type Pokemon, but we can easily change that by having her say this: over the years of exploring forests and training grass types, I grew a real fondness and appreciation for bug type Pokemon. So I decided to add those Pokemon to my arsenal as well. It makes sense, and I think she could pull it off. And speaking of her Pokemon, let's get into her team. Since I had the room itself be exposed to the outdoors, I thought it would be really interesting to see Gardenia use a Sun team. And it makes sense too, because she always likes to utilize Pokemon like Cherrim, which really makes use of the sun. And surprise surprise, that's her first Pokemon. And keeping the sun theme going, I could see her using Pokemon with the ability Chlorophyll like Leavanny. And just so that we keep her team strong and diverse, I would love to see her use Pokemon like Volcarona and Golisopod. And finally, her ace is going to be her Roserade. All in all, this team would be very strong and formidable, and Gardenia would definitely give you a run for your money. And if you somehow manage to beat Gardenia, she will let you know that you may need a rain check for the next opponent. And after that exchange, the door behind her will open. And once you make your first steps into the next room, you accidentally set off a trap. All of a sudden, the door behind you closes and the room starts to fill with water. The only solution you have to get through this trial is to get on your surfing Pokemon. And once you do, all you have to do is move forward a bit and you will be greeted by the second to last Elite Four member, Crasher Wake. With him, I don't really have much of a reason to explain why I chose him. I just really like wrestling and I really like Crasher Wake. So after a small exchange, the battle begins. For Wake's team, I would like it to consist of Pokemon that are both fierce and or have a fighting type background. And what better way to start out than the most fierce Pokemon in the entire games, Gyarados. After that, I can see Wake having Pokemon like Poliwrath and Polion, and just because he has it on almost all of his teams, Quagsire. And of course, his final Pokemon and his ace will be none other than the Sea Weasel itself, Floatzel. This team is a lot like Crasher Wake himself. Big, bulky, and very strong, and there's no doubt that Crasher Wake will be a tough opponent. But after you beat Crasher Wake, the door behind will open, and it shows stairs going down. It's time for your final Elite Four battle. And once you get to the floor below, you will be in a lava pit room similar to Blaine's in the Pokemon anime. And the man standing across from you who will be your final Elite Four opponent is none other than Flint from the Sinnoh Elite Four. Flint is by far one of my favorite Elite Four members of all time, and I just couldn't help myself to not put him in this video. But after you exchange words with Flint, the final Elite Four battle begins. And for Flint's team, I wanted to do a mixture of both his past teams plus an added bit of flavor. And to start, I would have him use a Salazzle because they love to hang around places with lava. And after that, I would love to see him using Pokemon like Houndoom, Infernape, Steelix, and since we have the lava theme going on, his ace should most definitely be Magmortar. And I think with a team that has that much type and move diversity, it would definitely be a difficult task to defeat Flint. But when you finally beat Flint, he will congratulate you on beating the Elite Four and let you know that you are ready for the final test. And when the battle is over, the doors will open to reveal a staircase that will lead you to the very top of the temple. Once you get there, you will be in a room very similar to the treasure room from Raiders of the Lost Ark. In the middle of the room will be a golden head statue identical to the one from Indiana Jones. What you will have to do is remove that statue and place it in an opening that is the exact same shape of the statue. And once that happens, one last door will open up that will lead you to the roof of the temple and your final opponent. It would be beautiful because you get an overhead look of the entire jungle and a nice sunset view of the sky. But all of that out of the way, it's time for you to face the champion, me. And my team won't really have any theme to it, it'll just be comprised with all of my favorite Pokemon at the moment. To start off, I will be using one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 7. Toucannon. And the funny thing about Toucannon is that it fits the jungle tropical theme too. Next up, I'll have Pokemon like Snorlax, Crawdon, Drampa, and Tyranitar. No reason why, I just really like these Pokemon at the moment. But since I am the Pokemon champion, I'm going to have 6 Pokemon on my team and not 5. And the 6th member will be my favorite Pokemon of all time, Charizard. And you know what, let's make it a Mega too. Do I really have to explain why I like this Pokemon at this point? If you really want to know, here's a video I did explaining why. And thus, if you manage to beat me and my team, then you are now the Pokemon champion. You've made it through Victory Road, took on each Elite Four member, and even defeated me. Congratulations, you have now completed my Pokemon League. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of my Pokemon League. Do you like it? Do you hate it? But most importantly, let me know what your Pokemon League would be. Feel free to leave a comment down below or tweet me and Toby your videos. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and become an Eryizo today. If you want to check out the previous video I did about the top 5 underrated Pokemon in Sun and Moon, then be sure to click the annotation on the left. If you want to see what my Pokemon gym would look like, then be sure to click the other annotation on the right. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.